Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Welcome now, Stock Trades. Hope everything's doing well. Yesterday, if you saw my video, I was at the barber shop, and there's a little story about that. Was I essentially went ahead and I was looking for a late night barber, and I found this guy, literally old school barber. You could tell, like, things were a little messy. Uh, some of the tile in the corner was broken, and you could just say it's a man living his American dream, and he's working all the way until midnight. Now you go tell me, find a barber that's open until midnight, right? So, yeah, wanted to go ahead and support him, and hopefully whoever is in Arizona, that video is ranking #1 now. If they type best barber in Mesa, it should pop up, Mesa, Arizona. So I'm glad we can help people. So, anywho, in this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Clover Health investor deck, and also talk about this specific post regarding the maximum presentation according to Bard. There's, the beautiful part about the Clover Health community is that, there are some people that I question their intelligence, but some of them actually is very smart, extremely smart. Like this person by the name of Sandro316. I didn't have access to the presentation, but those essentially those numbers up there make me question the legitimacy of everything else in the write-up. And yeah, so I agree. It surely doesn't make sense. If Clover Health, by the way, this was a post that someone just posted 2 hours ago. They asked Bard, again, can hallucinate. I went ahead and followed it up with Bard to double check, but I wasn't able to necessarily see what the person was talking about here. So, but I did do an intrinsic value calculation just, for the heck of it, to see, if, for example, the revenue growth of 2024, let's say, they're saying 2023, but let's assume 2024 is 2.8, 2.9 billion. Then, that's a 36% increase. That's really good. That's a price target of anywhere between, and if you do an intrinsic value calculation from an educational perspective, it goes from anywhere between $40 to $80 or $60. I have to redo it again. But I don't think they're going to grow that with a high much of a percentage rate in 2024. I think 2026 is when they'll be able to start ramping up revenue growth because of the whole economic environment and landscape regarding the Federal Reserve decreasing interest rates and them starting to cut. Hopefully they cut for a soft landing approach and not basically cut for more of a something breaking. But just really quickly, I'm just really excited. I want to do a little quick shout out. If you have purchased my book, I have the hardcover, but my dog bit it, so I just have the paperback right now. This is the book that I went ahead and created. It's on Amazon very beautifully. And then also, if you want the second book here, How to Find a 10-Bagger, that's a really good book. For all the people that purchased it, thank you so much. But understand, you purchased the prototype. So in the first week, there's usually prototypes, right? So you'll see in the images, they're really hard. Some of the images are hard to read. I put a website on here. So if you actually click on the website, like if you actually type in the website, then you'll be able to see a more beautiful illustrated version of the graph. But for all the people that purchase, I think in a day from now, this book, at the end of the book, I went ahead and put out the images more, taking up the whole page so you can read it more effectively. But overall, as you can see, very excited for the book. We have a lot of equations here, and kind of give you a quick example. Like if you look at the formulas, we have some nice formulas calculating operating income. What does that give? Gives you examples, and then we do essentially a back-tested model on intrinsic. On what would you do for an intrinsic value calculation? Let's say in 2018, and it looks something like this. So yeah, very excited for this book. Really excited, and also for all the people that review the book, please continue doing so. Please continue reviewing the book. I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, we've been attacked by this reviewer. Doesn't even speak English, but purchased an English-speaking book from Italy, saying you got to translate it. So for all the people that reviewed it very quickly, thank you so much. We're at 4.3 stars now. And if you go down to the review here, you can see the 1 star. And if you translate to review to English, because it's written in Italian, it's just a complete, terrible review. Didn't even, most likely read the book. But overall, If you haven't done so, please continue supporting this book. We are in the top 100 in investment analysis, and also top 100 in stock market investing book. So I'm really happy for this. Let's continue basically spreading the word. If we can get 100 reviews on this book, that'd be very nice. About like 500 people bought the book. I'm hoping, I know you guys are busy. I'm hoping that you guys can review. And again, all profit proceeds will go to charity. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's switch gears real quick, and let's talk about Clover Health. If I can find it, this is what imaging modality for hemodynamically stable patient with a blunt abdominal trauma and a positive fascial scan, CT scan and abdomen. That's a different topic. That's my medicine hat. Okay, so let's go ahead and do Clover Health. There's their disclaimer. So this is a slide deck. We never really went over it. We're just going to go over it together. Empowering Medicare physicians to identify and manage chronic disease early. That's their vision, their strategy. They're using Medicare. Again, the differentiating part about Clover Health is their PPO in Medicare Advantage. They're very proud about this. This is kind of the creme de la creme, this clubhouse access that other insurance companies like Humana do not offer. They do not offer. Bought the dip. Hope we skyrocket soon. Absolutely. I'm so excited. Again, I'm happy that we were able to get to a position where we reframe a t-shirt sale that goes on sale to a positive note, because that's what we normally do on Black Friday. But when it comes to stocks, people literally will say it's a gamble. It's a gamble. So it's crazy. Cool book. I'm going to ask for it for Christmas. I love it. That's wonderful. Is he the little Sesame Street, right? I love it. I want to take a poll, honestly, though, who is the youngest person watching this podcast, like whatever the hell Al Stock Trades is. It'll be really nice to see that data. So anywho, they're focused on empowering physicians with their Clover Assistant technology, everything we basically know. Now, what's crazy here is you start seeing basically the dynamic of support that Clover Health has. Now, I want to go ahead and start here because that's really good. So remember I told you when Scott Leffler came, I was going to say Clover Leffler. Clover Leffler. When Scott came, he came from Sotera Health, and we went ahead and analyzed that company along with all the other ones. But he's really good at basically making a company in a position where its balance sheet is respected by Wall Street. This person is well known by Wall Street, and he has a form of trust. And for him to join this program, as you can see, literally within a year, look what he was able to do with Clover Health. I mean, I told you, literally within a year, I told you what he was able to do with Clover, right? This lady here, she's a CEO of Medicare Advantage. This is the 30 years of healthcare leadership experience. She's coming in for the Medicare Advantage part. And it's interesting because if you see here, I want you to zoom in here. What do you see here? You see an incumbent. You see an incumbent. We know this. We've talked about this in our stock terminal. But again, there's people out there that don't know this. But this lady, she's a lion. She's the wolf of healthcare, right? She's very, very good with what she does. And Clover has her. And I just want to basically take a very quick diagonal here to Conrad, the CTO. This person has a lot of experience, but I want to say Google is the biggest one there. You have people that have institutional access to really smart, strong companies. Companies that are invested in tech. So this guy is definitely going to bring that experience over. Then if you can basically take a little zigzag down here, you have Brad. He's the CEO of Home Care, which we know is a growing company that is, as people age, for example, if you have a parent that's old, this might be a sad topic, but needs to be discussed. You may have seen the progression of dementia, and you may have seen within dementia just strikes so fast. It's incremental, but there's like a stepping stone where you just reach a threshold and you just see just dramatic loss just quickly. And it's like, oh my God, in your body, it just psychologically takes a toll on you because you don't even know, like, oh my God, this was so fast. But, a lot of these folks, they lose their license in, for example, the state of Arizona, and they don't have a car anymore. So they still need to get their healthcare needs met. And this person, again, United Healthcare Group. Okay. So a lot of experience in the industry. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go back down here. We have this gentleman, general counsel. We have chief of people officer. I don't really know. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really know a lot about these companies here. Maybe someone can comment down below if they're anything significant, but I really don't know. But obviously we have Andrew Choi with Google. The chief compliance officer, again, not so much this, but I do know Unity Point Health. And then here's the CEO of Value-Based Care. So as you can see, they have a really good team, obviously, with Vivek here. Really, really, really good healthcare team to really create something that is worth a lot of value here. Okay, so let's go ahead and you saw a lot of people scam and all these things, and obviously you have Chamath, who's actually one of the best in the hedge fund. Like, let me just zoom out really quickly here. Let me just zoom out and just talk to you guys kind of face to face, kind of how we used to do it, back in the day, right? So, and my apologies, on the upper left corner, it says my Wi-Fi is a little slow. So if my voice is fragmented, please let me know. I don't have any control over it now, but definitely like that feedback and data. But if you recall, the compound, Josh Brown, he's a CNBC commentator, also CEO, I think, of a couple of firms. Has done really well on Wall Street. He dubbed the concept of Chamath is going to be the next Warren Buffett, right? Now, obviously, he soon has taken that back, and it pretty much basically said, "Oh no, he's not the next Warren Buffett." But again, Chamath was one of the first investors in Bitcoin. When Bitcoin, I think, was under $400, even less, right? So you have to understand, guys, that in terms of Chamath, he's actually a big wig on Wall Street. The guy knows what he's talking about. The guy's a shark, okay? So I know his reputation for some reason got hit. But again, the people that attacked his reputation are the people that like to sell on bottoms and buy at tops. And those are not really investors. Those are speculators. He even replied back to one of my retweets, and he said, yeah, like, what happened to all the people that attacked SoFi and X and Y and Z? And he said, yeah, they're still poor. Kind of savage, right? But he's just doing him, and it is what it is. He tried being the nice guy, and people attacked him for it, and that's just what happens with people with the internet, right? If you bring those people and debate them, they'll just shut up, right? All right, so our framework here to serve all Medicare beneficiaries. So this is their Medicare Advantage. So again, this is the Jenny is essentially running this end here, right? So keep an eye on this here. It's focused on the PPO, and its guidance for 2023 is 1.18 to 1.23 billion. Again, the MCR is really good at 87 to 89%. Then you have the home care, which I think they're going to get 150 million, I believe, targeted under home care. And we are, it's self-explanatory. Then you have your ACO. This is their, unfortunately, cash burning part of the business, which they're estimating about 0.75 to 0.8 billion dollars, 0.8. But as you can see here, these numbers, as you can see, don't make any sense, right? So that's why a lot of folks here were saying, hey, I don't think this is any good. So I'm very proud of the Clover community to know this. Let me go ahead and take a quick little pause. Let me just read this, and then we'll go to the comments. Clover Assistant, data and insights to help physicians identify and manage disease earlier. So we already know that. We're going to have some examples at the end. Okay. Hey, have you compared the balance sheet of Clover to Oscar Health? I believe so in one of the videos, but we can do it again because every 3 months you get a new quarter. Oscar is going to be a 10 bagger. Whoop whoop. Buy $3 in December. Absolutely. Hey, Al, have you compared a balance sheet? Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was 2 comments there. Yeah. So I've done it in prior videos. I think I did actually. And I talked about how it's believe it's free cash flow positive, and it's just at a better standpoint than Clover is. And then a bunch of people from Clover Health on Reddit started attacking me. I'm like, oh, come on now. Shut up. Right. Sit down and shut up. Right. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go to Wall Street here. And let me see, OSCR, I think that's a ticker symbol, right? Yeah, so OSCR, and it's 120% year over year. We calculated the intrinsic value, so it's around where it needs to be. Let's go ahead, look at the financials just really quickly here. So again, if you want access to this, you can find this at alstocktrades.com. This is our nice little proprietary data sheet here. It gives you what you need. So revenue is doing good. Free cash flow here. Yeah, so you can see it's in the positive range. So you can do an intrinsic value calculation, taking a free cash flow metric of around $351 million. And then maybe, you need a little bit more years to verify, but you could take like 5% of revenue here. If you take 4126, and then multiply it by our beautiful 0.05, you can see 200. So they're actually almost at a free cash flow value from revenue metric of approximately 9 to 10%. And again, if what I'm saying doesn't make sense, you can go ahead and get this book on Amazon. It'll be able to help you understand what I'm saying. But okay, let's go ahead. Let's continue here. Of course, absolutely. We'll make a better future video. That was me that asked Bard about maximum. I can't watch the presentation. Hopefully someone shares it soon. Yeah, unfortunately, it's okay. Yeah, good point. Let me go ahead and take another deviation here. Okay, so the Invest Group, yeah, you kind of have to be an institutional investor, or like an accredited investor. So there's some criteria for this. But to be quite honest with you guys, you guys know more than anyone in that room, right? Hold on. One moment. Please don't call. I'm doing my live. You see how much I care about you guys? Like, don't call. I'm talking to you guys. So, very interesting though, if you go ahead and focus on this. Hold on. Okay, so very quickly, if you go ahead and look at this, trying to think. All right, hold on for a sec, guys. This is actually an emergency. Hold on, so I can't actually forget. I can't ignore this. Hold on. All right, guys. I'm sorry about that. Again, I don't like to cancel lives like this. So yeah, it was an emergency. One of my dogs is not doing well. She's at the vet right now, and I thought it was. So it's a little bit. She needs some meds and stuff. So sorry about that. I should have put on some music intermission. My bad. Okay, so let's talk about him. I'm really sorry, guys, to cancel a live. It's my dog, so it's Coco. Yeah. So I'll show you a picture later. All right. So let's go ahead and bring it back. So Invest. Yeah. So Invest, it's for institutional investors, accredited investors. But listen, guys. Okay. Listen, you guys know more than all the people in that room. Okay. You guys know way more. Okay. But it is a slap to retail face. It is a slap to you guys that this is not for you. This is for a highly select group of institutional investors, and it's a shame. It's a shame because these institutional investors that have money, they're coming at Clover in such a pivotal inflection point in time that us investors, us retail folks, us small fish, we have to go ahead and do due diligence. I have to put in so much goddamn work. I have to literally work my butt off and basically find this. And then, here are these people sitting down and they're getting spoon fed and they're coming in at an opportunity where they don't really have to do a lot of due diligence. Right. So that's kind of I understand what you guys, a lot of folks in my stock terminal are upset. And I get that, because it is a slap in retail community's face. And I'm sorry for that, but I just care to assure you, Wall Street's not for you. Wall Street is made to take your money, right? It just so happens that you have someone who's going to be a brain surgeon who actually gives a shit about society, and who wants to create books and educate people why these people have been making money for like hundreds of years, right? I'm here for you guys, and we can break down this company without that meeting. So Andrew Toy can go suck it, right? So no offense to Andrew Toy, I'm just saying it's a shame, but again, he has to make money, right? He has to make money for his business, and he needs institutional investors, because we're down 6.51% in institutional investors because of tax loss harvesting. But it would be nice if he creates a meeting just for shareholders, on Reddit. I know time is money, but just for like 2 hours, work on the weekend, man. One Saturday, give a day to retail investors, right? It would be nice, right? Especially the ones that believe in you, right? But again, normally I don't care. I would just in the background buy and invest and intrinsic value. But it's nice to be an activist investor, and hopefully retail investors start coming together to do those things, kind of like a Bill Ackman approach. All right. So I hope, Ricky, that was good to go here, and I appreciate your understanding about my little dog there. So, all right. So Medicare market growing. So the Medicare Advantage segment, it's growing even faster. So this is the senior population 65 over. Like I said, about 10,000 Americans turn 65 every day. Here's 2020, 2025, and 2030. This is basically the y-axis separated by 5 years. And you can see the growth rates here is quite amazing. And it's only going to get bigger, okay? And the market from 2022 was around 813 billion, and we're talking about 1.5 trillion dollars, right? Am I reading that correctly? Yeah, 813 billion to 1.5 trillion. So this is obviously the Medicare Advantage, which is what our beautiful lady here is working on, who has experience from United Healthcare Group. So this is pretty good. Okay. All right. So here's accelerating your path to profitability. This is like kind of my arena. This is, where I like to be in. So Clover has experienced exponential growth, which is true in terms of its insurance revenue. 2020, 2021, 2022, you can see this beautiful growth. Same thing here with the non-insurance side. With the non-insurance side, you can see 0.67, and you have 2.38. This is unfortunately their cash burning side, but it's good to see that they're also experiencing exponential growth in their insurance revenue side. So this is really good to see, guys, right? This is what you want to see. This is the guidance for 2023. You can see an insurance MCR, the non-insurance here. The non-insurance is pretty much at break even now. So I'm hoping in the near future, they will basically show their business model works. And once they become free cash flow positive, hopefully by next year, you'll be good to go here. So achieving adjusted EBITDA profitability in 2024. This is obviously their strategies they talked a lot about here. Again, it's PPO centric. We talked about this like literally a year and a half ago. This is their guidance for the insurance side. Now, I like this, right? They keep adjusting this as we hit more quarters, but you can see from the insurance MCR side, in Q1 of 2021, we went from 107.9 MCR down all the way to 87 to 89, right? You remember how they said there that we have 1,000 basis point improvement? Well, this is basically what they're referencing, but this is honestly, this is 1,000 basis points. If you take 107 minus 10, you get 97. And then if you take minus 20, you get 87. So this is like 2,000 basis points. But assuming if we can start here, we can basically say that's COVID COVID related, we can say 1,000 basis points, but you can see what Clover is doing for the medical loss ratio or medical cost ratio. It's very, very good. This is what you want to see. Okay. Versus if you look at other companies that retail investors really enjoyed, I think Lemonade or whatever, the different business model, but you can see their MCR, it's their medical loss ratio. It's not where it needs to be, right? Okay, so this is their non-insurance side. Again, I told you this is the one that they decreased the revenue because it's very cash burning. But look at this. Look at this. It is working. We have a 7%, almost 7% reduction in costs, right? So we are seeing improvements here. Okay. Here's the insurance segment. These are key metrics, of course. We could talk about this later, but I think it's important. So readmission prevention, clinicians deliver in-home post-discharge assessments and follow-up aimed at reducing readmission. So what is readmission? Readmission is when someone is discharged from the hospital, but they basically come back. If Clover Health's home care service, which is securing around over $150 million, if they actually go there and they decrease readmission rate, and if they can prove that to CMS, then it basically tells them CMS will pay them more money because CMS likes to pay for preventative healthcare services, which is kind of where we're headed right now, right? And I just want to be very clear with you guys. This is Clover Health is founder led, right? It is a founder led company, okay, and it's so to answer this question, you would have to go down into the annual 10K report and to answer that question. And break down the balance sheet in terms of the assets in different parts of the business. So in terms of the founder-led approach, it is a company that, Andrew Toy and Vivek, they are, this is their baby, right? So they're going to do whatever it takes to bring this project into fruition. We already know healthcare has been dominated by these incumbents, and it will get disrupted. And as soon as there's disruption and Wall Street smells this blood in the street, if you were to say, then just like what you saw with Tesla and AMD, when Intel lost a lot of money and all of the money technically went to AMD, you're going to start seeing this happen to Clover Health. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So what is the Clover Assistant? It's a cloud-based software that pretty much is able to detect disease before a disease manifests itself. And this is kind of how it looks like. And it's really interactive and intuitive because like this person, like I kind of give you, example here. So alcoholic, liver disease, hepatic, chronic, hepatitis C, cirrhosis, esophageal varices, portal hypertension, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. These are all could be associated with drinking, with being obese. Esophageal varices and portal hypertension usually manifest themselves with alcoholic. So this person here has hepatitis B, right? And its threshold's high. So all of a sudden, the review new suspected diagnosis, the Clover Assistant can just go ahead and say, hey, did you check for these? And imagine how many misdiagnoses that this thing can catch. Remember, medical errors, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, to all the doctors in the room. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. Medical error, I think, is the third leading cause of death in the United States. I want to make sure. Yeah, that's like I spoke. Yeah. According to a recent study by Johns Hopkins, more than 250,000 people in the United States die every year because of medical mistakes, making it the third leading cause of death after heart disease and cancer. Again, if Clover is able to tackle this, just like how Tesla is able to tackle the preventable deaths that AI and their self-driving autonomous cars can do, then we are getting into an era of extreme growth. For folks that are interested, also, I just posted an article here regarding artificial intelligence on LinkedIn, double-edged sword of AI boosting productivity while widening the income gap. But I'll be posting another article here soon. It's going to be titled, I think that this one's a little bit more, this one's a little bit more to your liking. Let me make sure if I can kind of take it here and show you guys. So I'm about to post this article soon. I'll let you guys know about it. But essentially, it's called AI Revolution: How Doctors Are on the Brink of Disruption. This is a very, very, very good article, and it's going to talk about how doctors will, if they don't utilize artificial intelligence, I believe the bottom 80% of doctors are going to be kind of like extinct, and how the top 20% are going to be the ones that are feeding and managing this AI using machine learning. So I think, it's kind of where we're headed. So Clover Assistant is widely deployed. This is the ACO only collecting data, and this is kind of the both Texas and Tennessee, and of course, New Jersey. And we can read about these testimonials here, but that's more for you guys here. So I like to look at more of the data, more for folks that don't know what's going on here. But we can, so more informed care, definitely intuitive. And there's some YouTube videos if you want to click, which I'm sure we've already seen before. So again, this is an embedded electronic health record crosslink. Is the lady talking about elevated potassium levels and Entresto. So this talks a little bit more about Clover Assistant. And this is just talking about how, like, in their first visit, the Clover Assistant was able to detect diabetes, which is pretty good. And this is the chronic kidney disease, which we already gave a full video on, I think, too. And this is their focus. So, again, we don't want to spend too much on this, right? But overall, again, sorry for the long video there. But, again, this is, again, if you these are for serious investors, right? These are for serious people that want to learn more about this company, serious people that want to, from an educational perspective, break down this, hear someone's thoughts out, because unfortunately, we are the only people in the world that is talking about this company other than Clover, right? We're the only people covering this company. Which I just don't get it, like how people can be so blind. But if you look at Tesla, it was like that on Tesla too, or all the other stocks. It is what it is, right? But interestingly, if we were to go to hedge funds here really quickly, if we were to go to our hedge fund data set here, and if you go to the hedge funds, you can see Renaissance Technology by Jim Simmons. You can see all the purchases they made. So obviously, they're not talking. Wall Street's not talking. They're talking by their dollar bills. If you go ahead and look at Ken Griffin of Citadel, you can see that they did a lot of selling up here, but look at them now. They're buying. They're net buyers now. About $4 million bought. And don't confuse these extra reds here. They are net positive $5.35 million. 5.35 million shares, right? And their shares increased by 185%. And if you look at, Simmons here, 29.2%. So, there's people that agree. Anywho, just a quick shout out for all the people interested. Please go ahead, if you can, review my book. I'm going to be going ahead and distributing the book for free to the libraries in Arizona. I'm going to try contacting them also to all the high schools so we can go ahead and help educate the future generation about financial literacy. Let me go ahead and ask you a question right now, guys. If someone came to you in high school and you had a book, and hopefully you can somehow find the book, in your library. But just imagine if you learned about this information when I'm telling you about intrinsic value when you were 15 years old. Can you see the power that you guys would have? you guys would have been multimillionaires already, right? You guys would have known how to deal with, 2008, how to deal with 2012 and 2014, 2018 with the bear market, a China problem there, right? 2020 and then 2022. Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and do some comments here real quick. Riddle me this. What would happen to the stock price if the entire country uses Clover Assistant to lower costs? Canada, Australia, powered by. Oh shit. Uh yeah, that's a lot. I mean, you just look at United Healthcare, right? If you, it's okay, 300, $400 billion market cap, right? So that's a lot, right? That's a lot. Instead of a multimillionaire, I would be a multi-billionaire, right? Imagine, right? I'll be a multi-billionaire. That's what would happen, right? I don't think that, how like Ray Dalio talked about the world order. I think like if like the US, let's say, is, quote unquote United Healthcare, and Clover Health was like Russia, right? Or no, sorry, China, right? So as Clover's going up, United Healthcare would destroy it, right? They would buy it, right? It's very hard to. We'll see, right? It'll be a war, but that's what disruption does. Prevention is key. Medicare Medicine 2.0. It's why genome research is becoming popular. So I actually do genome research, so it's really good. You're right on it. Be patient, Clover. Yep, absolutely. I asked one of my teachers to teach us about credit cards and buying a house when he asked what we wanted to learn last semester of senior year. Never came up though. Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you're here. It's pretty good that you're here, man. In high school, right? Teachers? Are you in high school, or such an advantage if kids are lucky enough to have parents to teach you this stuff? Exactly. My kids are I don't have kids now, but I'm sure my dog knows more about intrinsic value than most folks do. Oh, thumping sound. Hey, I appreciate you too, Nurse Cubana, right? So, like always, guys, it's always a privilege and honor. This was a bit of a long stretched video. My apologies. I had to take a call from my dog. But again, we like to fill this information with facts. And yeah. Anywho, I hear some thumping. I have two, some dogs here, so I got to make sure that they're not going crazy. My other pets. But overall, if you can, please go ahead and look into these books. Definitely, they're pretty much, pretty good size. Consider purchasing them. They're on Amazon. They're also in the link down below in the description. And for people that are interested in our Mastering Stock Market course, we do have a coupon code down below. If people that are, again, we have payment systems and whatnot, we are going to be putting a firm into. Okay. Overall, guys, it's always a privilege and honor to serve you guys. You have no idea. And we're just going to continue moving forward, and we're going to continue doing that. Right. And that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you on the next one. And I hope you like the background here. If you can see, there's a green screen here, so I'm always try to make it good for you guys. I got a good microphone. I'm not in my YouTube studio, so I'm trying to give you guys a good video here. So if you do enjoy it, please like it, subscribe. I'm trying my best. I don't have time to edit. I'm busy doing other things. Like I'm not a YouTuber. I'm here gonna talk, and then you guys can 2x the speed. So I try my best to make it, worth your while, guys. Again, I appreciate everything, and I'll see you on the next one.